So actually, it seems that two of the people that purchased today, they actually don't really buy or collect or play Pokemon cards in general. So we're going to Kuma Kuma and I are going to actually explain things to look for in Pokemon packs, and trends to look for, the money cards, etc., etc. And while we also discuss those things, feel free to interact. And we're going to talk about some of our recent going ons in the Pokemon world. This is a booster box of Brilliant Stars, arguably the best set so far in like modern history, and
Yes,
right, and
yes.
definitely like a very well designed set. Um, it's like a actually not even just in modern history. Like it's one of the most fun sets in North America that you can open up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were having this conversation that when it's just the format that they did this set in is that it becomes fun to open booster boxes because there's a lot more hits, and the way the game is formatted now, there's things that are like there's like V commons, but they're like still hollow foil and stuff like that. So and then you have the character art gallery, which is even more fun. It feels like you're getting more hits. Uh, so it's like that thing. Because back in the day, that never happened. Back in the day, it was like in the entire box, you'll probably end up with like tops five hollow things.
So actually that's one thing to note. So in the case of Pokemon cards, um like as Kuma was saying, normally there's only one like potential hit in any pack. It's the rare slot at the end. I did the card trick or whatever,
Mhm.
and basically you hope to get something, and most of the time it's gonna be garbage. but
Yeah.
but now in Brilliant Stars, basically the second last card could actually be a hit. And what's actually important about that is um, almost all of them are good. Like as far
Mm.
as one, the art at the very minimum is good, but two, valuation pretty good. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, like it's actually often said that buying boosters you're gonna lose money on average, but actually when it comes to Brilliant Stars, it's very hard not to break even on a lot of these boxes,
Yes.
right?
I
Like, and
agree.
and you can oh
Oh
okay.
wow.
So we're starting off with the first pack in the reverse hollow slot. Here we have exactly what we're talking about, like basically the second kind of rare that you can get. Here we have alternate single strike Urshifu V. Valuation
Fire.
approximately anywhere from 10 to 15 depending where you go. Okay, so boom,
Mm.
and the last one's not a rare. Well, I mean it is a rare, but it's a garbage
It's a
rare.
rare.
But there we go, Mr. Felix. Here we go. Already we're starting off with a good buy. So that means no matter what, it's cheaper to get it here than it is even at 401 on a sale price.
Mm.
Okay, so yes, normal price 401 they actually do charge 169.99. Actually, they charged me 189.99 like when I
Oh.
bought like a box like. But the thing is, I traded in a bunch of like random bulk and stuff, so like I didn't actually pay that full price. But still, I was like,
Mm.
whoa, you guys charge $20 more than everyone else. What the hell,
Mhm.
right? But it's because it was during a time when Brilliant Stars was kind of like sold out at a lot of places, so they
Mm.
kind of know how to get you, right? And bam, oh look, another
Wow.
hit, Trampa. I'll be honest, not the most exciting of hits, but $1,
A
good
hit.
for you. $1, something notable there. Um, but really, when you think about it, certain cards. Oh, let's talk about the concept of pricing in Pokemon, compared to like other kind of games and other kinds of cards in general. So
Mm.
I know actually, since both my boss and actually my friends, they started collecting sports cards, and like they're not. We're not talking about like just like some upper deck cards and stuff like that. Like we're talking about like they're going for these like high end boxes where like a quote unquote cheap one is like $500 for like 10
Yep.
packs, but like they're looking for like $20,000 boxes and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is a whole other level, right? But the thing
Mm.
is, when you think about like traditionally with sports cards, of course, like we think about in the past where oh, Aggron V Max,
Oh,
very nice,
nice.
is technically like ultra rare. Um, but valuation probably only $3, maybe five. So there we go, but still pretty good. Um, yeah, they are charging too much. But
They
in the
do.
end, it's like, supply and demand, right? Um, but regardless, so when you come to like sports cards, though, it's actually some principles. Like, you always hear me on this like cast talking about essentially like supply and demand. That's essentially what dictates the price of cards. And in the case of sports cards, like we all hear when we're like young, it's like, oh yeah, like let's get like a Ken Griffey Jr. like rookie card or something, right? Like if you get like a superstar and you get his rookie card, you just automatically thought that like it's going to be expensive. But really and truly, in today's world, that's not how it works, right? Really, actually, like the expensive cards. Well, of course, yes, you do have to have like a player that people want, right? But a lot of like the most value cards that people are chasing are like serialized cards. They're the ones that have a number, like like 3 out of 99 or something like that,
Yes.
right? Like the most rare ones, and they have to have like an autograph on it and like a piece of their game jersey and stuff like that. Like they want really exceptional things, and these things go for very high value. But then the rest is all basically like Pokemon junk, right? It's literally all these cards that nobody cares about, right? Like, and nobody,
Yeah.
like, you can't even think of ways to get rid of them, right? Um, but the difference is sports cards, like right out of the gate, like they're worth a lot. Like, you know, I'll tell you right now, like if you go and buy if you go buy and like let's just say I don't know, if you were lucky enough to like think like, oh wow, I got like LeBron James game worn jersey or whatever like that, and you bought like you got his autograph card and stuff. Well, for sure, everyone knew that that card's gonna be like expensive because even people like me who only like casually watch basketball, I knew that that was going to be special. I knew this guy was going to be good. So like that you have to like like keep that guy's card. But like again, even then, not all LeBron James cards are the same, right? Like you have like this regular common version of Duskull / LeBron James, and then you'll have the ultra rare version where it has like the numbered autograph or whatever, right? And um, really and truly, the difference is astounding because like the card might not even be old, but right from the beginning, it's like, oh, yep, this one's $1,000. Like it's like, oh, okay. But at least with that, you can actually like identify that it will be expensive. Like people can objectively see, I think this player is going something, or you can gamble. You can be like, I think this player is going to be good, or he's going to be something special, or there will be something about them that is desirable. Therefore, you can kind of speculate and buy the card. Now, in card games, most card games, I know there's some exceptions and stuff like that, but most card games don't have some serialized cards. Basically, every card that exists in one of these packs is produced just as much as every other card. So there's like not this version of fire energy that's like more rare than like your fire energy. There's no like out of 99 fire energy, right? But the thing is, what traditionally drives valuation in card games is how good the card is, right? Basically, if a card is good in the game and it's like like how powerful it is, that automatically makes it more expensive than other cards. Then if the card gets like older and it's still usable, then the valuation just kind of keeps going up. But there is a cap to this because like as we see, like everyone, like even if you aren't like a gamer and stuff like that, everyone's at least kind of heard of Magic the Gathering, right? Like we've all heard about it. But really, when you think about it, Magic the Gathering, like pretty much the most expensive card, maybe there's some other exceptions, but the most expensive Magic the Gathering card is an unplayable, like Alpha Black Lotus. Like literally like the most valuable, oldest card that like you can't even really like see in existence at all. That card is like the most expensive. But even that card's probably only like $40,000 right now, right? So like I'll tell you right now, there's lots of sports cards that are more than $40,000, and the fact that this is like the literal like oldest, most valuable card for the most popular card game that exists, you're actually like, oh, it's not that much, right? But in Pokemon, a card basically it being good, like of course that affects the price. Like of course it'll go up.
Yes.
But a card does not have to be good to be expensive in Pokemon.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We've talked about this in the past, but basically if there's a girl on it, all right, you already know you're gonna make money.
Yep, absolutely.
That's number one. And like number two, it's like, oh, Charizard, because arbitrarily people have decided that Charizard is the card to collect. Okay, I guess it's automatically worth the most. And then of course, like in kind of like the next place is like Pikachu, right? Like, so the thing is like, yes, rarity does matter in this, like, and of course rare cards are going to be worth more than the garbage bulk cards, but the thing is, regardless of the fact that every rare card is worth more than this like random star me, the thing is you have a bunch of cards that are rare that are only worth $1, and then you arbitrarily have this one with a girl and she's worth $100. Very simple. Very simple, right? And so basically what we're looking for are pictures of girls and Charizards. So in the case of this
And
brilliant
Pikachus.
and Pikachu's, that's right.
Yep.
So in the case of this Brilliant Stars right now, the two big money cards that we're looking for is Charizard alternate art,
Yes.
which is a cool one. Oh, I guess we should have had a picture of it here. But anyway, don't worry. We're gonna pull it in this box, right? So it doesn't matter. We'll show it in here. but basically, so like that card right now is worth like $300. Which, yes, of course, it's not as much as like, let's just say, actually I don't know. I don't know any new prominent players. I'm out of touch with sports. But basically, it's not like the chase card being worth only $300 is actually not that expensive when you think about it compared to like the world of other kind of games, or I'm sorry, like other hobbies, like let's say sports cards and stuff. But it's not bad actually for a box that brand new only costs you $170 and it's only like a month old. Actually, it's quite good for evaluation, right? So that's the first card we're looking for, and apparently time has showed that apparently Charizard will go up. There's literally zero case of a rare Charizard that somehow went down in value, and we can actually confidently say this because we literally have 25 years of data that basically shows that yes, Charizard always goes up in price. So that's the first card that we're looking for in the set. It's the card that I'm always looking for, right? But then ironically, the second most valuable chase card in this set is another Charizard. Right?
Yep.
Oh, look at this. Let's see, anything good?
Oh,
not bad.
nice.
The stepchild to the unwanted stepchild compared to Pikachu, right?
Unwanted stepchild.
Yeah, like, oh man, we're only like halfway through a box, but actually, you know what? I like this. I actually like this. This rip and ship idea actually, because normally, we understand, like I try to buy these boxes and then like open it like as kind of like part of the content, but the thing is, when you open up a box for yourself every week, it actually starts to add up, right? But now it's like, oh, good, someone else wants to buy the box.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, I usually try to make that one box kind of last for like the whole episode. Oh, Dracovish V, another hit. Still only $1, but you know what? Still not bad. So usually I try to make one booster box last for like the whole cast. And a part of my muscle memory is actually like making me kind of like slow down on the opening. But then the thing is, today actually we have to open at least 2 booster boxes and randomly a bunch of packs. So I'm like, oh, so actually I have to open up faster. So
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway. Anyway, so Pokemon, the valuation. A lot of cards arbitrarily just, it's not really arbitrary, there are rules, but to the outsider looking in, Pokemon cards have very arbitrary valuation on like its cards. Like it's like for people who know Pokemon, yes, we understand Charizard's expensive. We understand like waifu cards are expensive. We also understand that like apparently evolutions are expensive, right? Like as we discussed last week, Evolving Skies, all those evolution cards, they all went up 50% in 1 month. Like, right? Like Umbreon card was supposed to be $300. Now it's $450 to $500, right? Like all the Leafeon VMAX, the Glaceon VMAX, those are only $100 to $120 only in like the month of February. And now all of a sudden we're looking today, these cards are all hovering close to $200.
Yep.
So man, right? Actually, apparently in the US, here in Canada too, but in the US, there's like a shortage of Evolving Skies booster boxes right now. So apparently booster boxes are on average selling for about 180 USD. A box that I literally bought like for $150 only like 2 months ago, right?
Yep.
So people are like really like, that's why. So now it's a whole supply and demand issue, right? um so yeah, they're pumping up Eevee, anime and TC. Yeah, well, okay, let's be real. Eevee is cute, you know. Like both my children, especially now my second son, who's like quite young, he like in like the last, let's just say 3-4 months, got super into like Pokemon, because you know his older brother likes Pokemon, and he's really just obsessed with Eevee. He wants an Eevee doll, and like he pretends to be Eevee, and like I tell him like bedtime stories, and they want like Pokemon bedtime stories, and he always tells me he has an Eevee in this story, and I'm like, okay, sure, you know, like whatever. So oh, Liepard, for those of you who don't know, I have a hate relationship with this card. It's not even love hate. I just always think that Liepard, whenever he shows up, he stole the real rare that should have been there.
Yep.
So, because I pull a lot of Liepards. Although, I forgot to mention this last week. Last week was the first booster box I ever opened that didn't have a Liepard.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And last week we had a big box, right? Like we had like 18 hits in that box. Right? Like it was like or something, like it was really like crazy. I'm like, aha! See, I told you. Liepard really does steal the rare. That's just what it is. That's
there was
oh, Mr. Gone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but like on the last week's, yeah, it was a lot of hits. You got the gold Ultra Ball as well, right? So,
Was it the gold?
I guess I think it was, because I remember, because I wasn't here last week, but I remember watching it, and I was just like, oh, so I was like, ah,
yep.
But yeah.
Oh, you know what? Later on, I'll show you guys my Ultra Ball collection. I'll show it to you. It's don't worry, we don't have to talk about it more right now. Just remind me to show it to you. I really, yep, we're Charizard hunting, and yes, Eevee and Charizard, they are people's favorite Pokemon. I understand, but like, I feel that Charizard being like the favorite out of like the original, it's very arbitrary. It's just because he's like a dragon, I guess, right? Like, because like, what makes Charizard like more desirable than Blastoise or Venusaur? Like they were both, I mean, all three of those Pokemon were the starter Pokemon in the original games, right? So you'd think that the nostalgia would carry, you know, throughout, but yeah, but not a dragon. That's right.
Nah,
so,
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I guess so. So, but yeah, anyway, so the evolutions, going back, I'm kind of scatterbrained. Like the evolutions are just also randomly expensive, like the rare ones, right? Like not like the actual hit ones, right? But the thing is, it's kind of disproportionately expensive, isn't it? Like for like, and like, okay, like my question is, why is Umbreon more popular than any of the other ones? What makes Umbreon, like I said, an Umbreon card is equally rare to the Sylveon, to the Leafeon, to whatever, right? And we're gonna say that Umbreon is basically $500 right now, but like Leafeon is only gonna be 180 to $200. Like, you know, who made that decision? Is like, if it were up to me, I'm like, oh, I think Leafeon's the cutest out of all of them, but it's not the most expensive one, right? So, oh, oh, another stepchild card. The funny thing is, it's ironic, right? There is a full art Pikachu in this set, and the full art Pikachu is like $35, but the full art Raichu, which is the more powerful, the bigger Pokemon, the better Pokemon, you know, like the evolved version of that Pokemon, $15, $10. But actually, pretty good box so far. After I finish opening these, I will actually summarize. I'll put the cards out to like summarize all the hits, to kind of show like as a review of what we did. But yeah, like, wait, what is this? Yeah, exactly. Why you wonder too, Meta Thunder? I wonder as well. It's very arbitrary that like people have just basically decided, yes, this Charizard specifically and this Umbreon specifically are just much nicer looking than the other Pokemon. So these are the ones that we will deem that we should collect. And that's part of what happens actually with like the valuation of some of these Pokemon cards and stuff. It is momentum, right? Like, yes, we have fans of Charizard. Like, I get it. Even if I told you right now, yes, when I first started Pokemon, I chose Charmander and I loved Charizard the best and I thought it was coolest. That's fine. Like, everyone can have like a favorite Pokemon. But what ends up happening now is you've heard about Charizard, and then people tell you that Charizard is like the expensive one, and it kind of it becomes like a fulfilling uh, a virtuous circle, I guess, right? Like it's like because other people are all saying yes, Charizard is the card that like everyone's chasing and stuff like that, like all of a sudden like it itself is like arbitrarily creating momentum to make that the chase card, essentially, right? And not all Charizards are equal, like, right, like this Brilliant Stars Charizard, they're actually worth more than the I was even like looking, they're worth more than some like the other sets. Like for instance, everyone went to the Celebrations one, remember? That's like a fairly new set, but everyone wanted the Celebrations Charizard because it's like a reprint of like the base Charizard, and it's like a special anniversary and all this stuff. And yeah, you could say that, well, when the card gets older, it'll be more expensive. And right now, it is a pretty good valuation. It's like $120, give or take, right? Like, so, like, it is an expensive card, but that card is, people have, like, the market has basically dictated that Charizard, which is like a copy of, like, many Charizards before that are worth anywhere from $10,000 to $200,000. We decided that this one's going to be worth 120, but the new set Charizard straight up is, it's going to be $300, right? But in fairness, I think the new Charizard looks better too. So, look, another nice hit, Jolteon. This one's worth anywhere from $5 to $10. Little note, people. Oh, and an Entei, yes, $2, $3, but still, look, good pack. One thing about these trainer cards for those watching at home, these are at a discount. It's actually crazy because like you can get some of these, the Jolteon and Vaporeon, whatever, like the actual ones that people want, they are around $10, which like, okay, that makes sense. But some of them are selling for like $2. And I'll tell you right now, for a card of that, like, I know it's not an incredibly rare card, but it is technically like rare. So like at its intrinsic value of scarcity, it is actually harder to get. Secondly, the art is good. Third, it is like a limited kind of release card. So actually, these cards, if you find a place that sells for only $2, that's a severely undervalued card. And I'll compare it again. Sun Moon, the last set, Cosmic Eclipse. I keep forgetting. In Cosmic Eclipse, they had like a 12 card like trainer gallery set like that. And yeah, literally like a few years ago, those cards were only selling for, that was the hit name, Moltres. Just a few years ago, those cards were all selling for like $2 to $5. In fact, even randomly, I've gone to stores and I'm like, oh, a card with like Dawn and Piplup on it. Like Dawn is a girl character. I'm like, how much is the Dawn? And they told me like $5. I'm like, okay, like no brainer. I'll buy a card. I'll buy any card for $5. Like that's like that. But then I think they made a mistake because like average was around like, let's say $10 or so. But then I tried looking up the card in this last like few months, and I'm like, oh, it is minimum $20. And but the thing is, these were all cards that were like $2 to $5 when they were released. So it's kind of like, oh, you should probably just if you see the card for $2, you should buy it. Or certainly if you pull it, you should keep it. Oh, Morty, look at that, another hit.
Nice.
Good job. What's very notable about these cards too is because they're like a set, like they're out of 12, you should try to keep the set too, right? You should try to like collect the set, because then like in general, like a rule that of just collecting in general, not just in Pokemon cards, but about things in life, people want sets of things, right? They don't want half of something, right? We don't eat a fruit salad to only put like cantaloupe in it, right? Like we kind of want like everything to kind of like go together. So in the case of these like character trainers, try to collect all 12, because I'm pretty confident that like, I'm not telling people to invest in Pokemon cards. We've gone through this many times. Don't do it. But for those who really do like want like future trading power or buying power or whatever investing, then you know what? Your set of 12 will be worth more. Yeah, Morpeko V.
Morpeko.
See, maybe only $1 or $2. If you had Marnie in the background, it would be worth $100, right?
Right. The V Union card that we're not getting.
That's right. Out of 36. Don't worry, it's not last pack magic yet. And don't say that. I don't believe in last pack magic. I do believe in last pack tragic. Am I right? I don't think I've ever got last pack magic.
Who knows? This might be the stream. This might be it.
Yep. Except it's like not my box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I actually love watching people open cards.
Oh, that's a good hit.
Cynthia's Ambition. Now I know, like, this card has like been very volatile in pricing since the beginning. But in fairness, like, we already talked about this. Like, cards at the first like pre-release, like, they were way inflated. But this is basically a $25 to $30 card. I guarantee that this card is going to be expensive in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like impossible that it's not going to be more. Like, I'll tell you right now, there's two other versions of Cynthia. There's a regular one from Ultra Prism, when she's pointing, which I have a few of. And then there's the Shining Fates one. The Shining Fates one, well, like literally 5 months ago, it was like only like $60. Now it's like $90 at least. And the regular Cynthia is $100 because Cynthia people like her. So I'll tell you right now, there's no way this card is not going to be $90. Like, I cannot foresee why this card would not be the same price as the other Cynthias, right? So boom, look at that. This is so remember how we talked about how Brilliant Stars kind of pays for itself? Like,
yeah.
We can't ever guarantee that you'll make money from a box of cards, right? Like, in fact, you're not going to, right? I mean, you can if you're lucky, and we can all win the lottery too, right? Like, that's it's something that is possible theoretically, but Brilliant Stars is as close as you can get to breaking even for like any kind of like cards. I don't know if other card games actually have a similar kind of like is there a card game that exists where, like, in general, if you open boxes, like, you'll probably break even?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, what you mean by
Like,
the terms of Brilliant
valuation-wise.
Stars, right?
No, like, well, like, is there like some Japanese game or something like that where it's kind of like, oh yeah,
Oh.
like the booster box costs 200, but chances are you're like $200 worth of cards, like.
I
consistently?
mean, I think Vice Force, I think, is as close as we're gonna get to that.
So I made a good purchase with Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, because you know, uh, Arceus. Yeah, I said it.
Arceus. We haven't given like
Um,
the middle keyword, like the
Yeah, we haven't
random
given the middle
extra,
one, but it's
but
Arceus.
Arceus is like the main days keyword. Oh, Ariados with Janine.
Nice, nice.
Very nice, very nice. And okay.
Oh. Yeah, so like, cause some of the cards in Vise is just very expensive. Like a good example, like a
Are you talking
box
about
of
the signature
boosters of
cards
Vise.
or like
Oh no, in cards in general. Like a good
okay.
example is let's say what is like here's an odd one, but Adventure Time, right? Adventure Time in Vise.
Wait,
There's
Adventure Time, like that show where like
yeah, you know,
white hat
Adventure
and-
Time, come on, best friends, come to go to distant lands, that stuff.
I
Right.
see.
There's one card, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's called Finn the human and Jake the dog. That's just the name of the card, and it's a double rare card, and the card literally goes for like 120 for one or 110, but then the box that you bought is $110. So and then most of the cards actually end up being around. You can get $5 cards to like the usual 75 cents. So
Mhm.
you can actually break even and even double up because it's really rare, weird because it's a double rare, so it's not even, you know, very hard for you to pull. But it's still like $100, $120. I mean, and then signature cards is just its own thing, right? I mean, like, the Insane and Beautiful Nightmare Kurumi signed card is like going for like 1,200 Canadian, right? So, and then I think, sorry.
Oh no, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so Marvel actually was able to sign with Vice,
Oh, I
So
saw this
there's
actually. I saw
yeah,
Marvel
so there's
cards. Yes.
actually going to be this, and actually there's this Vision card with a Avenger stamp on it, and somebody was able to put it through Universal Grade, I think the CGC, and
Hmm.
the card goes for like $3,000.
You know what though? It's because there's a lot of like Marvel fans, and like just like like the whole MCU thing. Like that's
Yep,
a big industry. Like
yep,
Disney has created an incredible like cash machine, right? Like,
you did.
right? They're like, oh yeah, they've taken a franchise that used to be like a niche thing, and they made it so now it's kind of like, oh, like sometimes I tell people like they like it'll come up in conversation like, oh, have you seen Spider-Man? I'm like, no, I haven't actually seen any of like the Tom Holland ones, right? They're like, what? oh, oh, I
Yeah.
don't know what to say, right? And I guess like there's like people expect because I'm into like all kinds of things that I should have already watched every MCU movie. You know what? I've never watched any of the Spider-Man movies. Like I mean like of the Tom Holland ones, and I'm not saying they're bad, and I do want to watch them, but I'm just in a situation in my life where I just don't watch that many movies. But apparently, it's shocking that like someone cannot watch all the MCU movies. So, all right, Felix, last pack magic or last pack tragic? Am I right? Mm-hmm. Oh my god. I mean, gosh. All right, let's see. Well, the Gloria could be in here. Okay, so let's see. We're actually looking for the second last card. I already know there's not a hit at the back, but but don't worry, maybe there's Gloria, right?
Oh.
Oh, okay. So basically,
Oh.
nothing. All right. So to summarize your cards. So boom, Ariados, $2, let's call it. Cindy's Ambition, let's call it 30,
Yeah.
$35. Yes. Future $100 card though.
Easy, easy.
Easy. Like impossible that it won't be. And that's like today's dollars, right? So really, I don't know. Let's give it 3 years. Whatever $100 is worth in 3 years,
Yeah.
it'll be that. Morpeko, $1 ish. Let's call it two. Another $2 card, Dusclops. Jolteon, $10.
Yeah.
Entei, $3. Let's call it.
Yeah.
Drampa, $1. Urshifu, yep, $15, 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Dedenne, this one's surprising, like $7 because it's a girl.
Yeah.
That's why, right? This is what I
Yeah.
said. If it's a girl, it's automatically more. Aggron, so sadly, it is an ultra rare, but still only worth like $3 to $5. Raichu, $1. Not even worth talking about.
Yeah.
Dracovish also $1, and Raichu V full art though, yeah, like $15. Not bad.
15,
not bad.
yeah. 15,
Yeah,
20,
not
yeah.
bad. So all in all, not a bad box, but really and truly in the long term, it is actually a moneymaker just because of this card alone. So good job
Yeah.
for you. you had a good box. Yep. But thank you so much for participating in this. We actually just appreciate because even when you do this, you're supporting the fact you're supporting our ability to do content, and
Yep.
we're always appreciative of that regardless. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.